I imagine that'd go to the Democrat Party to help, continue the agenda of communism, to continue that bus ride, if you will, the bus company called socialism. That company owns that bus. They've got us on the bus, and that conductor, the bus driver, he's steering us to the world of the land of fruit and honey, communism. That's sarcasm, folks. However, Donald Trump has literally not been spending any money. And whatever money he has spent has been his own personal money, which is just amazing that he's able to garner this type of support, run a campaign so absolute efficiently. Like, think about it. If you had to run a campaign and you had to use money that was yours, your money, or maybe not even a campaign. Just say you're going to go out and buy a car and you're using your money that you saved up. Say you saved up $20,000 cash and you've got that knot right in your hand and you walk out to the dealerships and you look for a car. Are you just going to point at the first car and say, boom, that's it. I want that one. I want the loaded one. I want this one. I want that. Just run out and start. No. You're going to do it efficiently and effectively. And you're going to do it with a lot of judgment in mind. You're going to want to weigh the odds. What is best? Is this best? Is that best? You're not going to you're not going to burn it. You're not going to blow your money. Trump is a businessman, very successful businessman. He's not going to burn his money. He's going to do it the most effective, the most efficient possible way. And that being said, he has literally spent, nothing compared to Jeb Bush spending tens of millions of dollars, and he's gotten nowhere. Hillary Clinton spending millions and millions of dollars. If they've gotten nowhere. Well, Donald Trump released this week the first of many ads, and he says he's going to spend up to $2 million a week on just ads, getting this out to the public in some of the very early primaries, New Hampshire and Iowa, and get these ads out to those states who are early on in the Republican nomination, the Republican primary. And we got the ad. So I'm going to play the ad for you. I want to see what you guys think about this, okay? We'll see how you feel about Donald Trump's new ad. Go ahead, Mr. Producer. That's going to be 1A.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
The politicians can pretend it's something else, but Donald Trump calls it radical Islamic terrorism. That's why he's calling for a temporary shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until we can figure out what's going on. He'll quickly cut the head off ISIS and take their oil. And he'll stop illegal immigration by building a wall on our southern border that Mexico will pay for.
We will make America great again.
That is resonating. That's his first commercial, first ad, and that is resonating all over America. That's resonating to Democrats as well as Republicans. It's amazing. There was USAnews.com. They had an article this week that says Trump could win it all, which is that's a pretty big and bold statement. But they said Trump could win it all. 20% of Democrats are defecting from the Democrat nominee, said they'd vote for Trump, versus 14% of Republicans said that they would defect from the Republican Party if Trump was the nominee and vote Democrat. Once they got into it, they found something really interesting. They found that 100% of the Democrats were absolutely positive on switching for Trump. When they asked the Republicans, the so-called Republicans that they were polling, they said, yeah, well, I mean, I'm kind of sure that I'd do it. I mean, I say I do it, but will I really do it? I don't know. So, I mean, it was clear cut in this article that they put up that was just amazing. They also talked to a Democrat Democrat voters and asked them about Trump's first ad. And the majority of them said yes, that ad resonated with them because of the things that he talked about, the things that we know are true, which obviously you heard the ad. He's talking about cutting the head off of ISIS and taking their oil. He waited a while before saying that. That's a really bold and very out there in your face kind of statement, to where I think if he said that early on, it might have scared some people away. Trump slowly started letting that out and found that people wanted the oil. Take the oil. Take control of the oil. Control that oil in the Middle East. Keep it out of the hands of the evil ones. Keep the money out of the hands of the evil ones. And allow America to run it. How? Efficiently. Efficiently. Absolutely efficiently. Use capitalism in there to run that effectively. He also said that he'd take the proceeds of that oil and dump it on the veterans, which I'm not mad about that at all. I'm not mad about that whatsoever. It's the veterans who went and got that oil. So that's one thing. ISIS, cut the head off of ISIS. Second thing, stop illegal immigration. We've got to as a nation, get a hold of this immigration policy, this illegal immigration that circumvents our laws, circumvents our rules. People climbing the border, people being here, not knowing. We don't know if they're terrorists. We don't know if they're just Mexican nationals. We don't know if they're from Honduras, El Salvador, Panama. You don't know where these people are from, and they're just walking in your streets. That's how that girl out there in Santa Monica Santa Barbara. That girl out there in Santa Barbara with her father walking on the boardwalk, and some illegal immigrant walked right up to her and shot her in the head. She died right there in her father's arms. That has to stop. As a nation, as a government, the federal government's first and should be only job is to keep Americans safe by shutting the border down, maintaining that security on the border. I mean, that's their job. That's their first and foremost. That is their number one job. Military, keep the people safe. And that should be their only job. They shouldn't be allowed to do. And according to the Constitution, there's a lot of things that they're not allowed to do that they are doing. However, I digress. So he's saying these things and they're resonating. When he says that I'm going to make Mexico pay for the border, I know. Small-minded, short-minded Democrats. How are you going to get Mexico to give you money? Well, okay, Democrats, go ahead and have a seat. This is economics 101. This is how this is going to work. When Mexican trucks bringing goods and services to America come across the border, for example, say they pay $100 to cross the border, bring their goods and services in. I know it's a lot more complicated than that, but I want to keep it very, very simple for our liberals out there, because I don't want to get too fancy. Don't get too off ADD. I understand. So say $100 for a truck to come across the border. Well, we build the wall initially with American money, but we will be paid back that money because the cost of that truck will now be $200 to come across the border, when last year it was $100. That's how he gets Mexico to pay for the border. Mexican goods and services coming into America will be taxed at a higher rate before to pay for that wall. Tell me a wall doesn't work? Ask all the other nations that have built walls. Ask China about a wall. You kidding me, folks? Ask Germany and the East Bloc about a wall. Walls they work, and they will deter. They don't block everybody. However, they will deter 95 to 97% of the people that are already coming over. Right now, currently crossing the border, poor women and dozens and thousands, not dozens, thousands of children with no parents crossing the border, walking right across the border, right through the desert, walking up into Texas, walking up into Arizona. We talked about this before. The Democrats, the liberals have put, they want to put shower stations out in the middle of the desert. They want to put watering stations out in the middle of the desert. They, little safety connect the dot type of underground railroad. Help them as they come across the border. No, that's bad. That's bad because you're encouraging that trek across the border. You're encouraging that. You've got to stop that. We need to bring back tough love. When was the last time you guys heard of tough love? I think the term back in the 90s. And you know what? It works. Tough love works. If you got a kid on drugs that won't clean himself up and won't move on, sometimes you got to cut him off. Tough love. Buddy, I love you so much that I cannot give you another dime. I cannot help you anymore. You cannot darken the door, my doorstep again until you clean yourself up. I've got to let you go to make your own decisions and to get it straight. That's what we need. We need tough love. So build the border, build it high, build it long, stop immigration illegally by walking right across into our country. We need to stop that. When we stop that, a lot of things are going to happen. The rapes, the murders, the pillaging of people's lands, American lands, that's going to stop. All those people, that immigrants that come across the border from Mexico, they usually pay somebody to help guide them along the way, called a coyote. This coyote, who's a man, it's not a real coyote for those of you liberals out there. It's not a real, they're not following a coyote. That's just the term given to the man who leads these illegal immigrants across the border. They pay a coyote to get them into America. A lot of times that coyote will take their money and leave them for dead. They don't care. They just take their money. It's easy money. As a coyote, he's like, I don't know how to get to America, but I'm not going to tell them that. And he leads them off into the wilderness or out into the desert, turns around, takes off, and leaves. Or it could be a handful of coyotes. They take the women and children, they rape and murder them, and kill them and leave them there and take all their money. That's the caliber of people we're dealing with here. Like El Capo down there in Mexico. Apparently he's been caught. We finally caught El Capo. How he's been allowed to run around for 6 months is beyond me. However, I digress. So a lot of evil people out there. You wouldn't allow your 5-year-old daughter to walk the streets in the middle of the night in any downtown city, would you? I wouldn't let her walk anywhere, in the middle of the night. So why are we allowing our door to be wide open, south of the border, north of the border, wide open, anybody to walk in, anybody to walk out? It's absurd. So enough about the border. That's Trump. He's resonating with people, Democrats and Republicans alike, because there are a lot of Democrats out there that agree we need to shut this border down. And so that's why Trump is resonating with those people. This week in Vermont, Trump was holding a rally, and the venue was with the rally. They sold or gave away 20,000 tickets to this venue, which only holds 1,400 people. The 20,000 tickets were bought up, and it was a river of people. It was just unbelievable. People side by side, all the way down the street, just waiting to get into this venue of 1,400 people. Ironically, this place was picked because it's directly across the street from Bernie Sanders' headquarters. Oh, how coincidental. So the local police department, they quote, this is from the police department, they say, if Phish, that's a rock band, Phish, I can't believe he's referencing Phish, but he did. If Phish was holding a free concert at the Flynn and gave away 20,000 free tickets, we would cancel the event out of public safety and concerns. Police Chief Brandon Del Pozo, he also told Breitbart,